الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله أما بعد Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We have with us again our brother Abdullah from Houston. May Allah reward him and preserve him and increase him in his efforts to learn the Arabic language and learn the religion. Assalamu alaikum Abdullah, how you doing?
Walaikum salam, doing good.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, we're on our sixth lesson. Our last lesson was just review, and it was a lot of vocabulary that we had, so we took it as a review. But this sixth lesson, we're going to learn four more alphabets, basically. Four more alphabets. The first one is dal. It doesn't always appear with this little tail right there, right? This little tail. Sometimes it just looks like dal, like that, without the swoop at the end. And sometimes it's with the swoop at the end. Sometimes it's not so big and in between. If we were to put these on a line, like our kindergartner paper, then it's like this. They go up to the line. It doesn't go beneath. And as we can see here, it doesn't connect on the left. Similar to the wow and the ra and the zay. It doesn't connect to the letter coming after it. It can connect in the letter in front, as we see right here. The lam came before the dal, right? And it connected, but it doesn't connect afterwards, as we can see in the rest of these. We're also going to have a letter similar to it, comes right after it, and we go through the alphabet in alphabetical order. Then it's the dal. It's the same letter, but with a dot on top. This is a dal, making the d sound. And when we put the dot on the top, it's a val, making the v sound, like in these. I know it's not something that we have in English, a DH really, but like the TH in these, where it kind of vibrates a little bit. These, those, thal. So it makes the sound. That's our next letter. And then we also have the fa, which we'll get to, inshallah ta'ala. And we have the hamza. And the hamza is important, as we will see. Okay. Another thing from the basically diacritical marks, like the vowels that we're going to learn. We learned previously about a, I, u. And we learned about the sukoon, which can be written as a circle or a half circle, like that. And we also learned about an, in, and on. Now, so far, we really haven't had too much n. We've only had in and on. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why we haven't had this n at the end is because the n, these two fathas, cannot, no letter, basically this is how I was taught, basically this is how I'm about to say it. No letter can hold the n, right, by itself. The ba, the ta, we're not able to say, if we come to an end of a word, ben. This ba cannot hold the two fathas. It can hold the two dhammas, right? Or it can hold the two kasras, but it cannot hold the two fathas. So it needs an aleph to help it out. That's how I was explained, right? Like a, kind of like a little kid. That's not linguistically the case, but it doesn't, the fathatain does not appear on any letters except with the aleph. And there's two exceptions to that. The hamza, which we're going to learn today, as well as something here called the ta marbuta. If you remember, we had the ha. It looked like this. And in the beginning, it looks like this. In the middle, it looks like this. In the end, it looks like this. This ta marbuta only appears at the end. Only appears at the end. If it comes before, for example, if it comes after a dal, right? for example, a dal that we have here. Then it won't connect and it'll look like the circle with the two dots, like a more, not really a circle, but an egg, more of an oval shape and two dots. And if it's at the end of a word, we're not going to learn it right now, but I'm just telling you, if it's at the end of a word, it'll look like the ha does, except with two dots. Okay. We're going to learn that later. But these two, the Hamza and the Ta Marbuta, they can hold the Fatatain. Right? They can hold the Fatatain. All the other letters, if you're going to have the Fatatain, you're going to need the Aleph. Right? You're not going to have the Fatatain without the Aleph. And we're going to learn that here right now a little bit. And then when we get to the Hamza, it'll be even more clearer. It'll be even clearer, inshallah ta'ala. Is all that kind of clear?
Yes.
Inshallah. A little bit. So anyway, we have this dal. It makes the d sound, just like in English, d for the D. And we have da, di, do. Da, di, do. So if you remember, this aleph makes this fatha long. So we say darun. Right?
Yes.
Okay, go to the next one.
Dari.
Dari. Exactly. Then the next one.
Waladun.
Waladun.
Yeah.
There's no aleph there, just waladun.
Waladun. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, the next word.
Waladin.
Waladin. Okay, now this next word I'm just going to explain to you. It's somewhat of a typo issue, and it's a difference of opinion, and it doesn't mean anything. They're both the same. If I were to write this word myself and put the vowels on it, I would say wa, la, den. And I would put the two fathas over the dal. Right? Some people put them on the aleph. There's no difference. There's no difference there. Right? But some people write them on the aleph and some people write them on the letter before the aleph. Here in this book, it seems that they do both, as we can see in this word down here, that they do not put it on top of the aleph, but they put it close to the aleph on top of the ba. In these two here examples that we see here, they put it over the aleph and not on the dal. That's just a choice where you're going to write them. It doesn't change anything. For me, I would prefer to put them over the dal. Why? Because I know what I'm pronouncing on the dal, and I don't have to look to the next letter to find out how I'm going to pronounce it. So for me, I would write it here and say waladen, and know that the aleph is just here to support these two fathas, basically, right? But if it's written the way they wrote it here, I would say, what do I put on the dal? And I would want to say wala something do da n or something like that. But that's just my own thought from how I learned a long time ago. It could be on top of the aleph like it is here, or it could be on top of the letter before the aleph as I wrote it there on the side. Is that clear?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Okay. So now here's the word we're on right here. If you want to read it.
Waladan.
Waladan. Exactly. The next word.
Yadun.
Yadun. Exactly.
Yad.
Next.
Yadin.
Yadin.
Yadan.
Yadan.
Kalban.
Kalban. Exactly. And then let's do this one, and then we'll make these 4 lines homework.
Okay. Beitunan.
No.
Beitlan.
Beitan.
Beitan. Oh,
Remember, this is the fatatain
Beitan.
on
Yep.
top of the ta. Beitan.
Beitan.
But you can't write it. For example, you can't say Beitan. You can't have that. You have to have that aleph.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So Beitan.
Baban.
Baban. Yeah. This first one, just hold it a little longer. Baban. Because it has this aleph, which makes it longer, right?
Right.
Baban.
Baban.
Good job.
Kitaban.
Kitaban.
Kitab.
Exactly.
Thauran.
Thauran. Exactly.
So when it has the was it double fat top? What do you call it?
Fatatain,
Fatatain.
which means two fatas. Fatha. I'm sorry, fatha tain, or tanween for all of them. When they're doubled up, they're all called tanween because it gives a n sound at the end. We have fata, and then we have n, an, or I, n, and o, n. You understand? So
Yeah.
that just means they're a tanween. Fata tanween, kasra tanween, dhamma tanween, or fathatain, kasratain, dhammatain.
So when it has that the fatatain, I don't have to pronounce the aleph. I don't.
No, the aleph never has a sound anyway.
I just don't
The
extend
aleph
it.
in and of itself doesn't have a sound. It only carries a sound. As it makes this long, or it helps carry the fatatain, right? Or as we'll see in a minute, it helps carry the hamza, which we'll get to after we get finished with the letters today.
So I don't
Other
extend
letters.
it. I don't extend the sound though when it has the fatatain.
No, you don't have to extend it. No, thawran. It's just there here. It's just here to carry or help carry the fatatain.
Okay. Carman.
Carmen.
Kabir. Kabiran. Kabiran.
Kabiran. Exactly. Exactly. As we said, we'll make these 4 lines homework. Then we have the thal. As we said, the thal, it's the same thing if we put it on a line. Right?
Yep.
It can appear like with the tail or not. I personally write it without one. That's a little fancier. It doesn't connect on the left. It's the v sound. So we have that, the. You have a question?
No.
Okay. We can begin reading.
Zakara.
Excellent.
Yadhkuru.
Yadhkuru. Exactly. Excellent.
Zanabun.
Dhanabun. Exactly.
Kizbun.
Kidhbun. MashaAllah.
Ladhidun.
Ladhidun. Excellent.
Zakarna.
Dhakarna. Excellent.
Tazkur,
What do you say?
Taz,
No,
Tazkur.
before that.
Oh,
Before that.
that one, my bad. Zukiran, Zukira,
Dhukira. Exactly. Okay. Next.
Taz, Tazkurna,
Tazkurna. Exactly.
Toxibun,
Takdhibun. Exactly. Takdhibun. A little more than th. A little the th is a little soft.
that's more
Like these and those. Takdhibun.
the,
And last one. The. Yes. Okay. We'll read this next one, and then these two will be homework, inshallah.
okay. Kaz, Kazaba,
Kadhaba. Kadhaba. Good
Kaz.
job, though. Excellent.
It's kind of hard to double up.
You want to? Yeah. You'll get used to it. It'll become easy. Kadhaba. If you write it out, we would say Kadhdha. Ba. Kadhaba.
Kaz,
Kadhaba.
Kazaba.
No.
Yuka the is that up above that? Is that for the letter?
Yes. That's for up above.
Okay, yeah. Yukaz Zibun.
Not bun, just bu. Yukadhibu.
Yukazibu.
There's only one dhamma there. Good. Good job. Next.
Zukirat.
Dhukirat. Exactly. MashaAllah, you fixed it. Dhukirat.
Tazkurun.
It's just one dhamma there, but I see it's a little fuzzy, but it's just one. Tadhkuru.
Okay. Tazkuru.
Tadhkuru. Other than that, excellent. Excellent. Okay, this next letter is called a fat. A fat, and it represents the f sound. Fat. If we put it on a line, looks like that. Right? It's a circle. That's basically it. Just a circle. And then up with a dot on the top. In the middle, it's a circle. In the end, it's a circle. Same thing. Right? Just a circle up. Circle up and over. Right? It's fat. So we have fit, fu, fat. Fit, fu, fat. You want to read? Is that clear? Is that clear for you?
Yeah, it kind of
It's
looks like a meme, but yeah.
Yeah. A little bit. The meme looks like this. In the beginning, it's under. And then it's over. And then like this. So the meme comes from under. And in the middle, it goes over and back down. Whereas the fat just goes up and back. Almost like a
Flip.
race car track, like a Hot Wheels track or something. Whereas the meme goes over, the fat goes under.
Lafata.
Lafata. Exactly.
Mafur. Mafurfun. Malfun.
Malfufun.
Malfufun. Yeah.
Malfufun. No.
Da. Dafana.
Dafana. No.
Full. Fulfulun.
Fulfulun. Exactly.
Kafirun.
Not long on the fat. Just make it short. A short kasra. Not e. There's no ya there. Ka
Kafirun.
kafirun. Kafirun.
Kafirun.
Right? Kafirun.
Fardun.
Fardun.
Farar. Fararta.
Fararta. Exactly.
This is an F. That one looks totally different. Fee.
Yeah. It what they did instead of writing it like I'm trying to write over here, if you see, they put the fee instead of putting the ya out like this, they stacked them. You understand?
Yeah.
So instead of writing it out, they just kind of stacked them on top of each other. Just a little fancy thing. Just makes it a little easier. It takes up less space. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. Fee.
You know, the Mus'haf that you were asking me about, is this Uthmani or what? You know, that's handwritten. That's not a computer.
Right.
So when you're trying to fit things on a line, sometimes you write it like this. Sometimes you write it like this. You might write it like this. Sometimes, you know, depending on how you need the words to fit on the line nicely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
makes it a little bit
that's all that.
difficult, but
That's all.
yeah.
Huh?
So it makes it a little bit difficult, but yeah.
Yeah. So what was this word?
Fee.
Fee. Fee is probably the second most used word in the Arabic language. It means in.
Means in.
In for the most part. Yeah, for in.
Mufradun.
Mufradun.
Dufinat.
Dufinat. Okay, we'll read this next one and then these will be homework.
Lafa.
Laffa, exactly.
Sharifun.
Sharifun, exactly. Sharifun.
Sharikun.
Sharikun, exactly.
Fakar.
Fakra.
Fakra.
That's a shadda there. So
Fakara.
Fakara. Right?
Fakara, yeah.
And then the last one.
Fardan.
Fardan. Now. Okay. So the aleph, as we learned, has a few different functions, but it doesn't, the aleph, this letter here, it has a few functions, but it doesn't have a sound in and of itself. It helps hold the tanween, the fatatain, or it helps make the a long, and it can do some other things, but it has functions. It in of itself doesn't have a sound until you put this hamza on it. This thing that looks like this. It can be written small like this, or it can be written a little bigger, right? Depending on if it's bigger, it's usually in the beginning of a word. It doesn't connect. It doesn't connect front or back, right? It doesn't connect. So we see here, basically, if I wanted to say un, but I didn't have a letter, I put it on the hamza, ma-un, and this holds it. It has kind of a guttural noise. Whereas, if, for instance, if I say in the middle of a word, I tell you to stop, and you're saying ah, like that, right? When you, whatever noise you put on it, whether it be a fatha or a kasra or a dhamma or fathatain, kasratain, dhammatain, you're going to say ah, it, on, an, in, un, right? Just kind of like a stop, like you're starting from a stop type of view. There's a word in English that does this. I can't think of what it is right now. I don't know. I can't think. There is a word like that in English, though.
Yeah,
but anyway,
I will actually watch a video on it, and they said it's kind of like when the British say butter instead of butter.
Yeah.
Or
butter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what the hamza does. Now we see here the hamza can be small and appear on the aleph. Right? Usually when it's here, it's written a little bigger. Right? When it's by itself holding a vowel, it's written bigger. When it's on top of the aleph, and it can also be written on top of a ya. So here, if I try to put it here, written like this, aleph. If I write it on top of the aleph, it's written like this. If I put it on top of a wow, it looks like this. If I put it on top of a ya, it looks like this. And I do not write my two dots. I do not write the two dots. These are known as just seats. These are seats, you know, something that the hamza is sitting on. So it doesn't need the two dots because it's not pronouncing anything, you know, it's just a seat. Why does it stand on an aleph? Because there's a fatha either on it or before it. Why is it on a wow? Because there's either a dhamma on it or before it. And why is it on a ya? Because either there's a kasra on it or before it. You understand?
Yeah.
Because we said, just like the long vowels, the fatha goes with the aleph, the dhamma goes with the wow, and the kasra goes with the ya. These letters are always, you know, they have a relationship. So there's a lot of times you see them together. So why would I put a hamza on a wow? Because there's a dhamma either on it or before it. Why would I put a hamza on a ya? Because there's a kasra on it or before it. Why would I put it on an aleph? Because there's a fatha on it or before it, like this. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what
So
about when
here we have.
What about when the hamza is underneath? What about when the hamza is underneath the aleph?
Okay, it can be underneath the aleph because it's a kasra on it. So it's underneath it because of the I. Right? Similar to this, I guess. But yes, it escaped my mind. I'm thinking in one way and that escaped, but it is underneath and it has an I sound. Right?
Yeah.
It's in the beginning of a word, though. It's in the beginning of a word. When it's at the end of a word or the middle, it'll be on the aleph, the wow, or the ya. Right?
Okay.
But this is only in the beginning of a word.
Okay.
That's a good point. So here we say ma'un. Ma is long here because of the aleph. Ma'un. Because we have our dammatain. So what do we see here?
Ma'un. Sha.
Underneath.
Sha'a.
Sha'a. Exactly. Like insha'Allah. Right? Insha'Allah.
Akala.
Akala. Exactly. Akala.
I guess I don't know how do you do this stop at the beginning if it doesn't hold any sound?
No, it starts out like that. Akala. It's not akala. It's not akala. It's akala. You understand?
Abun.
Naam. Abun.
Abun. And Anba. Anba'a.
Anba'a. Exactly. Anba'a. Good job. Excellent.
Aburka. Arbuka.
Abuka. Yep. Abuka. Next.
Akila.
Okila. It could be here. You see, Okila. It has a dhamma.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I didn't put that up there, but it does. Okila. Because it has a dhamma here. Okila.
Ukila.
No.
So basically, with that, I just pronounce the vowel.
Yeah. Exactly. Because the aleph doesn't have a noise. So the hamza gives it ability to carry a noise. A, E, O.
Okay. Islamun.
Islamun. Naam. If we stop, Islam. Right? Islam.
Islamun. Su'ila.
Su'ila. Exactly. Su'ila.
Yamuru.
Okay, here it has a sukoon on it, right? So we just stop and we have that little guttural sound, like I said, ya moro. Just like if I'm saying ya and I cut you off, ya moro,
Yamuru.
ya moro. No, you can read this maybe to help you out, and on your time, but ya moro. So then you have here
Sa'ilun. Sa'ilun.
sa'ilun. Yep, sa'ilun. Exactly.
Su'alun.
Su'alun. Exactly. Excellent, man. Excellent. Jazakallah khairan.
Ya. Yabda. Yabda. Yabda.
Yabda'u. Yabda'u.
Yabda.
Yeah. This is a dhamma here.
Unbiya.
Unbiya. Exactly. Unbiya. And this one's going to be like the one up above. Ya moro, right? I'm talking and then you stop me. Ya moro. Here.
Yakulu.
Ya kulu. Excellent. We'll read this one and then the next two. Is it only 2 lines? Yeah. The next 2 lines will be homework. And that's what? 10 lines, right? 10 lines of homework, I think. Yeah. 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 10. These lines will be homework. Inshallah ta'ala. So let's read this line here.
Amma. I'm missing a letter.
Yeah, this is. They just wrote it fancy. They just brought it like that. Amara, yeah. It's confusing, I know. You'll get used to it. Just like being able to read different people's handwriting. That's all.
Yeah. Zairun.
But without the E, don't make it long.
Zairun.
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 Right? This is long because of the Aleph. Zairun. Zairun.
So is the Hamza not above the Aleph there?
No, it's above the Ya, but no dots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zairun.
I see why you did that, but the Ra would not have this tail if it wasn't like I would write it like that. I would write it a little clearer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But people do write it like this. So this book is trying to get you ready for the real world. I'm gonna treat you a little nicer, and they're trying to get you ready for the real world quickly. You know?
Yeah. Nablau.
Nabda'u. This is a dal.
Nabda'u.
Yeah. It's a little big, but it's a dal. Yeah.
Ray.
Ra. Ra'aita. Exactly.
Bina'un.
That one. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. These would be homework. You know, I'm trying to see if any of them are not clear. I think they're clear on this one here, at least. There's no funny looking Ra's or anything like that. They all kind of have their proper typed look. And again, you can look at the rules for the Hamza and stuff that are in the book if you want, since you have the PDF. And for those who might listen online, the PDF is in the description of the very first video in the playlist. So you can get it from there. Next lesson is just us learning new vocabulary words and using those words we already have, like li, laka, laki, lahu, laha, lakum, lakunna, lahum, and lahunna. Using those and learning how many new vocabulary words? It starts at 10 and goes to 19. So 10 new words. 10 new words that we'll be learning, inshallah ta'ala. And we'll just read and translate these into English along with learning those words. And then we'll also translate these English ones into Arabic. And that'll be our next lesson. We'll go over those 10 lines, at least one line of those of each new letter, right? And then after that, we will start on this vocabulary here. All right?
All right. Sounds good.
You let me know when you're ready.
All right. Will do. Appreciate it.
Any questions?
No, just need to practice now.
Yeah. You're doing good, man. Jazakallah khairan. Excellent. We ask everybody watching to make dua for Abdullah, man. He's doing a good job. Excellent job. Not just good, excellent job. All right. Jazakallah khairan. Let me know when you're ready and we'll come back. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Salam. Thanks. Bye.